Hi. So at tonight's MVP Club meeting, I forgot to record a little bit of an intro of what this video is about, but we have all been kind of curious about the Ralph Wiggums plugin for Claude Code. It's getting a lot of coverage right now. It's very popular. So one of our members, Ryan Brodsky, who's like a little further ahead than the rest of us in adopting it, did a demo of how he's using it in an app he's building. And because of some Discord technical snafus, he couldn't speak at the same time as he was demoing how he was using Ralph in his terminal. So I did a little narration while Ryan was showing how he uses the Ralph Wiggums plugin, the Ralph loop, to do his dev. Hope this conversation is helpful, interesting. It's the kind of exploration of features and tools we do every week at MVP Club. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, that's true. You can always tell Claude to use the command. It'll go find the command and give itself the command. That's always an option too.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what Ryan was talking about when we were in the session last week. He was saying, it's like, hey, is it really complete? Double check these things before you call it done, type of thing. And it keeps looping until it's
Exactly.
actually complete. Okay.
Yeah. So that's like the whole benefit of Ralph is it'll look at your kind of feature task list, what needs to be built, or project task list, what needs to be built, identify for itself what the next thing is to build. So it'll do its own prioritization, pick that task up, and then prompt itself to start working on the task. And it'll work through building the feature with some clear acceptance criteria. So if the feature is done, this particular thing will be true. And so it'll attempt to build it. And then if that thing isn't true after its efforts, it re-prompts itself and says, hey, build this feature. And so then it attempts to build the feature again. And if that acceptance criteria isn't true, it re-prompts itself. And so instead of you saying, hey, try again, it's basically telling itself, hey, try again. So the key is like those acceptance criteria. So Ryan has asked it to understand the PRD on the project. This is all really nice. You know, Claude's reporting back its understanding, and where there's some conflicts in its understanding, Ryan's doing some clarification. So Ryan's doing clarification. Ryan, you got to get on the voice to text train. It's so nice to just talk.
He's typing so fast, it looks like he's talking to it.
Yeah, he is typing pretty fast. Highly recommend it. It makes me way more specific.
Matt, how do you do that on VS Code?
It's a general purpose app. You have to get like a third-party app. It's just a app that runs on my computer that's voice to text in any field context I'm in.
Okay. Great. What's the app what's the name of the general purpose third-party blah blah blah?
I'm using WhisperFlow.
Oh yeah, they said that in the demo with the guy who came up with Ralph.
Yeah. It's really convenient.
They talked about that at the DevLearn conference I think I was at.
Yeah. A full feature talk to text integration. Yeah.
That is that stream.
It is. I just want to talk to AI. I don't want to type. Okay, so Ryan did some refinement of the requirements and understanding of the project. And now Claude is setting up the Ralph loop with a clear validation criteria. So you can ask Claude to set the criteria for you, so that Ralph loop will work. So that's key. And really, again, it's no fancier than thinking about it as, instead of you saying, "Hey, that didn't work, try again," Claude is monitoring its own output and saying, "Hey, that didn't work. I'm going to prompt myself again to build the thing. And I'm going to keep doing that until the acceptance criteria is met."
I like that note, Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Claude knows what's going on.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
Did you accept that, Ryan? You did. Okay. Why did it write Ralph memory system? Is that a memory file for this session?
I saw Ryan write something about memories. Like, we want to keep the memories.
Well, that's a feature of his app. So there's two layers here. There's the Claude Code working memory for dev, and then Ryan has a memory component in his app.
Okay. What is he's switching back and forth from things? What is he switching back and forth from?
So this is Claude asking for permissions.
No.
Oh.
He was switching between terminal screens.
Were you? No.
Really?
I missed it.
It's just moving fast. Yeah.
Oh.
Rolling.
It's just jumping, I think. And those, Claude just asking for permissions. So starting Ralph loop iteration 1 for vector DB memory system. So that's his memory feature in the app. So Claude wrote the instructions for this feature loop with Ralph in Ralph memory system.md. It's now fed it into this loop. It's reading the memory instructions on what to build, probably the acceptance criteria. It looks like now it's reading through the directory to understand the code base and make a plan. So yeah, now it's going to start implementing. So it started dev. And I don't know how long this dev loop will take, but it'll work until it thinks it's done. And then it'll check it against that acceptance criteria, probably by running a test. And Ryan's going to come back.
That's cool. If it's working until it's done, at what point do you ring the alarm that this is taking way too long? Like the next day or what?
Part of the initial command that you can give it is max iterations. So how many times should it keep going in a loop? It seems like it defaults to 30, which feels very generous, but it could also need to restart because it just ran out of context room. And it's just like, hey, I need to start a new thing. So that's how it knows to eventually stop.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I had to do. Now it's going to keep going. I'm going to keep periodically accepting permissions for things if it keeps saying things. Matt finally encouraged me to start going into dangerously skip permissions mode where it never even asks you to do anything. I didn't turn that on for this session because I'm not leaving the computer for overnight, but if I was, that's probably what I would have done so that it would just guarantee keep running.
Do you just type that in?
When you start Claude.
Start the Claude command in your terminal to start a Claude session, you can add a flag with -- dangerously skip permissions. And the first time you do it, it'll say, buddy, do you accept the consequences of this? Do you understand that you're about to do something and just give me complete control over everything? And I would say, yes, of course, Claude, you're God. Why wouldn't I? But yeah, it scares you a little bit at the start. I'm a little worried about this feature. This is a pretty big feature for my app. So we'll see how it goes. But it's interesting. It's going to have to install a lot of new tools into the app to make it work. but it seems to be doing it so far, so not a problem.
Yeah.
I like that Claude continue. I have not done that. I'm like, do you remember what we did last time?
Yeah.
That's what she usually does.
What's dash continue? Oh,
Uh,
the last session, or
yeah.
you get to pick a session?
Yeah. So I learned that one because Claude mid last year kept crashing VS Code. So I'd be in the middle of a session with Claude and it would crash and I'm like, oh God. And then I realized you could do Claude -- continue, and as long as you were in the same, you go to VS Code, open the same directory, and open Claude within that directory, and it would pick back up where it left off. So that's pretty handy, in particular for those moments. But otherwise, I'm always asking Claude to update docs, because if we close accidentally, if Claude itself gets stuck or crashes, having the docs as up to date as possible is such a good way to manage getting started again.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's Ralph.
I guess I can show where I got today with Ralph, if that's
Yeah, that'd be cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
I forget how to do this Discord sharing thing. Here we go. Oh my gosh, it's like not allowing me again. Hold on. Okay, maybe it is. Can you guys see my VS Code? So
Yes.
what I did was how do I I'm not great at the panes, moving the panes and making them bigger. Okay. So I asked it to look at my current code base for the career dev app. And it had some initial things to do first to get it up and running. And then it gave me what would I like to do next? It's ready for Ralph Loop. So I didn't do anything yet. I've just got to these ideas or these options. So start Ralph Loop for test coverage, recommended. Start Ralph Loop for AI integration. Quick manual test first. And then I asked it to explain to me in plain English what would these be doing. So this is the total layman person, me trying this out for the first time. And so, this was great for me to see, because this is what, Matt, you were saying, and then the video that Dan shared. So I was like, okay, that all connects for me. And then it really put in plain English, what test coverage would do for these iterations. And, this goes up to what I think, Tanasha, you were asking about before, how many times it can try different things. And so you get a complete test suite that actually works. And, they talked about what happens for the user somewhere in here too. But, I was like, well, what happens? What is the problem with not having that? And it's well, you might have a user that the system crashes and your user loses all of their career dev stuff and they're furious and they don't trust your app anymore and they never want to try again. And it's these are very simple things that are very easy to grasp, but when they're talking in this testy technical language, I'm what does this actually mean for the user? And then I was oh, then I probably do want to do option one, because option one didn't sound sexy or fun to me, because I was the recommended one, because I was I don't know what any of this actually means. And then it was well, your user doesn't, might not trust your app ever again, and we're going to have this, paying tier to MVP Club soon. I was if we launch this and then it doesn't work, I started to see, the ramifications, whereas just seeing it in more tech speak wasn't useful to me.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll stop streaming. I didn't get very far because I was setting up my thing again, my app again, because I hadn't worked on it in a while. And then I was trying to get it to talk to me about Ralph, as relates to my app in plain English, which was helpful.
Well, one, Jill, I think that's such a good demonstration of how Claude Code can do all that translation work for you and be that surface area of, I'm never going to go in the code base, but you're my translator right here, and we can kind of look at the same world together. So I think that's really good technique. But then also, I'm wondering if you want to start Ralph Loop right now, just so we can all start it together with, if you're feeling ready, but no pressure.
All right, so then I'll try it, because then that helps me, like, have momentum for the next day. So
Ryan,
I hear
can you do the walkthrough here?
Am I sharing again?
Yeah, you are.
Okay. So I guess I would do this test thing, right? This, the first thing that was recommended. Where did this go? Option 1, start Ralph loop for test coverage.
And that's the one you selected to do, right? Based on the explanation?
Yeah, oh, what happened? What happened? Looking for some red. Where's the red? I lost it.
I do the same thing.
Like,
Here's a red block of text. Let me scroll to
yes, so like, here's what the plain English that it's doing. So then I guess, like, am I just saying, like, all right, let's go with option 1, test coverage Ralph?
Yeah, it probably knows.
Let's do option 1, test coverage Ralph.
All right,
Nodding.
let's see if it gives itself the
I'll pay it
Ralph command.
forward and do the narration.
Yeah, nice.
On Jill's.
Awesome.
It appears that Jill has been asked whether Claude's doing great, and of course he's always doing great, so loop for good should be what she says. So it's initializing the Ralph loop, and it's an unknown skill. It probably needs to load it, or maybe it needs to know that it's a plugin. The difference between plugins, skills, and commands is completely blurring lately. They invented a few different ways of invoking pre-made prompts with resources, and now they're all kind of crashing together. You need to type this directly in your Claude Code terminal. I don't believe it, so just like push back on this and say, you can execute this command yourself, buddy.
I do that too. Like, well, can't you do that? Do I need to do it, or can you execute that? Like,
It can give itself commands for sure.
Yeah, no, that's how I've done it. I don't think I've ever hit enter on a /Ralph command that isn't just help.
befuddling.
It's befuddled right now.
They're so fun.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Right.
I would also check. Okay, it's doing good investigation. So yes, I believe /Ralph lab is a Claude command that needs to be entered in the Claude Code interface. Like it is the Claude Code interface. What's it talking about?
So tell me, so this needs to be installed and it's not there, it's saying it can't find it?
Yeah. So I would accept this command for sure. Because this is a command that just says, is it there or not? And if not, maybe we do /plugins. So type /plugin.
I see the issue, it's a Claude Code command that's processed before reaching me. I do not have direct access.
It may not be installed.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's not installed. I think it's just, so /plugin.
And then enter?
Yeah, enter. So now you're going to be searching the marketplace. You can start typing in Ralph.
I did this, well, not this, but.
And then hit the down arrow to get to it. And then hit enter. Install for you.
Restart Claude Code to load new plugins, right?
Yep, so I would do Control-C to get out of it right now. And then you can...
2 times.
Yeah, 2 times, unfortunately.
Like,
I did it twice, but it doesn't seem like anything changed.
Like rapidly.
Oh,
yeah.
Got it.
There you go. And this is where you would add -- dangerously skip permissions if you were feeling spicy, but I don't think you're going to need that.
I'm not feeling spicy.
So, all right then, just hit Claude and continue, I think, yeah. Or is it just a single dash, Matt?
2 dashes for me.
2 dash, yeah.
That looks right.
Yep, sounds good to me.
So now you're back in that context.
Yep, we restarted and installed the plugin. Try the Ralph command again.
Deliberating.
I love this teamwork.
I know.
Use skill. This is the, yeah, okay, sure.
Yes. It always gets it wrong the first time. I've noticed that. I think they're going to fix that soon, but it always
Is it just being lazy at first? It's like, let me just try a couple things and see what happens. Put sticks on the wall.
Like, it just doesn't have good enough instructions on the exact command to use, so it tries using like Markdown format for multi-line comments. And it just
More
doesn't-
than 40.
Guys, there we go. It's running.
So, like, this could run
Up to.
ostensibly for like hours.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it.
What's the shortest it can run? And also, if my computer goes to sleep, what happens?
That's a good question. I've run it where it's only run one loop. Like it hit the acceptance criteria on the first loop and it just stopped.
Yeah, it's honestly challenging to write enough of a feature for it to need multiple iterations at this point. It's just so good at getting it right away. But if I was starting a brand new app from scratch and I had like a 7-page PRD with 10 phases of 100 user stories, it would need a few iterations.
So what's it doing right now? What's happening?
It's building
What's-
the option 1 that you asked it to build.
Yeah, but right now, like, of that option, what is going on? Like,
It's
give
just
me
reading its files. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's installing the necessary libraries to run the app. It's reading a bunch of the files. It's made a test directory now. It's basically orienting itself within the project. Is there a Claude.md inside of the project? I guess maybe, yeah, in .claude. Yeah, so
this.
it probably started there and was like...
Well,
all right, I know
click into that folder, Jill. Yeah, there's your Claude MD.
Okay. Yeah, now there's ralph-loop.local.md, so that's the file it must be using to keep track of itself.
Okay.
So the one under
This
Claude.md.
Yeah, no, I'm just
Okay.
reminding myself of what this is.
Yeah.
So then this is not that many lines. Start with auth endpoints, then engagement. Wow.
Yeah, seems
Okay.
good.
It might add to it as it goes, right?
Yeah,
To the MD file. So it's just
probably we'll see this file change over time.
yeah.
That's running its first.
So it's having me. So I'm here now, but it's making me say yes to keep going. How does that seems not what we're saying that it can run overnight without me.
That's why you do the -- dangerously skip permissions.
Yes.
There's a middle ground to that though, and I've done this with Claude before starting a Ralph loop where there's a local file that Claude knows about that says like what the agent's permissions are. And so it can have a file that says, you can npm install anything. If the command you want to do is npm install and then wildcard, then go ahead and do it. And so gradually, like npm test, okay, you can add that to the list of permitted things. It won't ask about that again. Then eventually you've got a robust enough file that it'll stop asking for permissions on 98% of what it wants to do.
And how would I do that?
Ask Claude to do it, because I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so it's like if I'm
I
like,
just knew it
hey,
was an option, yeah.
okay, so just to kind of play that back to you, if I'm like, all right, this seems to be going well for these kinds of things that you've asked me before, you don't have to ask me again. Is that like what you would sort of say?
I would even go farther and say, hey, create a thorough list of the commands you anticipate needing to run in order to do this command, and put that in the file yourself before proceeding.
Before we do all this, press one, start the loop.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So now it's like all the 20 auth tests are passing. Now it's creating tests for the win endpoints. So it kept going. So now I have a question. So I thought all we were doing in this first thing was the 20 auth tests. I thought the tests for the wins endpoints were out of scope, but it's all tests.
Yeah, it wants all of them. Auth endpoints, then wins, then engagement.
And if you look at the Ralph Loop MD, it's got the wins test listed in there. So you could kind of see the scope of what it's building in that MD.
Okay. Oh, here's all the tests. Like, it literally said, I don't know code very well, obviously, but like there's A test should fail when description is missing. All these are the tests, right?
Yeah, for the win.
Yes.
For the wins. Yeah.
For the win, like putting a win in. But
Yeah,
there's other
yeah.
categories to my app.
Right.
So for the wins category, there's like 20 tests it needs to do. But for the, I don't know, the writing the LinkedIn post part, there's 15 more tests.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like really a nice way to do vibe coding dev, beginning your app by writing all of the acceptance tests just in general, because then you backwards dev from all those
Yeah,
tests.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Cool. All right, I can stop sharing now because it's probably getting boring.
But
It was helpful for me.
yeah, this is
It's really
great.
helpful.